or the laity of the church is as important as the bishops and the leadership. They don't really want to dialogue with us most of the time, is the way I feel. And so I feel that that the church is in serious problems, especially in the United States.
I am very disappointed that the reforms of Vatican II seem to be being taken away from us. And I felt that that was such an exciting time in the church, a very important time for my own growth.
We have today in America a much more pluralistic society. So we can live in neighborhoods and our neighbors are not necessarily our same faith group. But I think that's a positive. And so I have a son who is growing up Catholic, but growing up Catholic in a much more diverse and pluralistic world. And I think what that will mean is that he will be better able to take who he is as a Catholic, that Catholic identity, out into society and be a Catholic amongst other religious traditions.
Well, the church always needs to modernize. It needs to be always to, as in the Second Vatican Council said, to scrutinize the signs of the times and to proclaim the gospel in light of the signs of the times. So we need to be very conversant as a church with the signs of the times, and that's critical for our survival. So we need to be always engaging, always reaching out to those who are on the margins of society who don't feel welcome in the church, and we need to engage. We need diversity of leadership.
When I first moved to New Rochelle, I had two very young little children. And I remember one of my first experiences that when they were perhaps a year and 2 years old, we went to sit at Holy Family. And they were, of course, not sitting down, not listening, and they were trying to walk around a little bit and get up. And I was very embarrassed. After Mass, I went over to Monsignor Mescal at the time, and I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry, Father. I'll try better next time, and I'll get them to sit down and they won't run around." And he said, "Don't you dare. Next time, I want you to come right to the front pew, and I want you to put them there, because this church is theirs just as much as anybody else's."
Church for me has become more of a being with the people as opposed to only following the dogmatic traditions. Although those are important, behind why we do the things we do, really the living and being with the people is at the core.
Conservative and liberal have become such politically charged terms. Really what we have to understand by the question is conservative means to conserve or to preserve a tradition. So of course I want the church in all of its members, its lay members, its teachers, the hierarchy, to preserve the great gospel truths, the faith that was given to the church by Jesus Christ. And so to conserve the tradition, the church needs to be in the world. In that sense, it needs to be progressive. It does not retreat from the world, but rather enters into a dialogue with the modern world. It means prison ministry, it means catechesis, it means social justice, it means economic traditions, economic policies that preserve the common good, that serve the poor. It means many, many things. It means a variety of liturgical traditions to preserve ethnic traditions through the centuries. To conserve the faith in the church is a way of being progressive in the world today.
The Catholic Church right now is too much involved in and focused on the church as an organization and not connected or working with or dealing with its parishioners.
I see them bending. You know, the Bible is very specific. The Word of God is very specific in what it states. And it even says, do not change one dot or one tittle of His Word.
The Catholic Church is in crisis because they've lost the trust of the people and the public generally. The church that the youth are attracted to is not the Catholic Church or the traditional conservative churches.